Okay, so we are recording. Do you have any announcements or things we need to say, or am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so. I mean, we have the Rise and Clean.
Are you in my brain? 'Cause it's like
The Lean and Clean Challenge. I'm making this new bullet journal thing that my therapist told me to do, and I'm like all stressed out because I have to figure it out. So, no, the Clean and Lean Challenge. If you can still add people in there if you're looking for a challenge to add people into, but it's just a way to get people invited towards the end of the month. But other than that, I don't. I'm really excited to see what these two ladies have to share tonight. So
awesome. Me too. All right, so we'll hand it over to you guys.
Hi, Elizabeth. Haven't said hi to you yet. But I can start. We've been kind of bouncing ideas and stuff off each other, and really what I've been kind of dealing with lately is having people say no or not right now, or I'll have challengers that just want to do free groups and they don't really want to pursue anything further. And so what I've realized and kind of what I guess God has shown me lately is that I've just got to meet people where they're at. And a lot of people are just not to the place in their heart and in their life where they're ready for a change like that. And because that was me, a couple years ago. And I mean, it took me a while to say yes and to want to make a change. And so I'm just kind of focusing on building relationships with people and really like genuinely showing them that I care and that I just want to help them any way I can, and not so much focusing on trying to get them to purchase a challenge pack or something like that, knowing that as long as I'm consistent and I love on them, that will come with time. And I actually, I was telling Kelly, I actually kind of was encouraged yesterday because a lady that I know from the town I grew up in, she had apparently been kind of watching me and my posts and stuff, and she had joined the group that Autumn is doing right now to lead up to the 80-day obsession. And she saw that I was in there. And so she messaged me, and she had been under a coach before, but she moved away and she didn't really, talk to her much or anything like that. And so she asked if I could coach her. And so I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And so she did that, and she's drinking the Shakeology and everything. And she's, she really seems genuinely, interested in what we can offer her. And she's like texting me, asking all these questions. And just like when you, Kelly, when you replied to my post in the team page about the lactose intolerance, she's like messaging me, well, I found out I'm sensitive to lactose and what can I substitute? Like she's asking me all these things. She's really excited, and she's seen really good results and stuff. And so I'm excited for her and that she's, making a change and all for her. So, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Just people that sorry, got distracted. People that, they do watch you and they do see if you're consistent or not, and that if you really do believe in the process. And so that was just kind of encouraging to me, and I'm just trying to focus on those relationships right now.
And I think to kind of build on that, what me and Emily have been talking about a lot is just not having too many like expectations from people who don't seem like they're really committed yet. Because a lot of the people that me and Emily have been talking to and have had as challengers aren't super like into the challenges, which is fine because that's how I was with my first challenge group before I started working with Kelly. And I think the thing that sets apart a coach is just like constantly affirming whoever your challengers are, whoever, even if they're not like in a challenge group, if they're in a free group, just, farming with them. And that's like one of the fundamental parts of this business, which we all know by now. And then another thing is just focusing on our own journey. And that's been hard for me personally, just with having the baby and not really being able to find my way back on track as quickly as I've been wanting to. But just finding a way to share those struggles, which in Kelly has been huge with helping me to like share my struggles because she just had a baby. And so I'm just it's kind of backwards because she had her baby after mine. But I'm still slowly trying to figure out like how I'm supposed to be posting when I'm not crushing my fitness or when my nutrition has been like cheeseburgers and ice cream, So just like, and Kelly's been emphasizing every single time I talk to her, just share the wins and share the struggle as well, but also like how you're growing from that struggle. So that's what we got.
I just wanted to say real quick, like, I love that you shared that tonight, because sometimes, like, how many people eat cheeseburgers and ice cream and feel like I can't be in a challenge group because they all eat tofu and like salad. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes people really like it when we share that, like, we binged on a half a gallon of Ben and Jerry's and, that don't be ashamed of it. Like, that's anyway. Like, I think that helps people see like, oh, they're not perfect and they struggle, and I'm still trying to figure it out too, so.
And the thing is too, with your postpartum journey, you're showing people how to do it, being on the other end of postpartum depression and all that stuff. I mean, that I went through after Augie, it was really hard to show up some days. I kept falling off the wagon and I thought, who am I to be running this challenge group because I suck? I mean, that's kind of what I was struggling with, those voices. But what we're doing is we're showing people that by getting back up, by being honest and real and saying, I'm fighting, I'm working on this. The thing is that people need to know that it's okay if they fall. The most important thing is that they get back up. And you're showing that by showing up and doing those things. I mean, and that's what Kelly's doing now, helping in the clean and lean. She's not working out, but today she did a big post about how she's starting to watch what she eats again. She had her week. She took her 7 days of enjoyment and, the fun part after having a baby. And now she's like, all right, back to work on my eating, So I love that. And I love that you're working together and not giving up because you don't get immediate results. Those they say that when you get started in this business, you got to give it 5 to 7 years to really start to thrive. And, just showing, like what you were saying, Emily, about people watching you and finally saying something. The more that we are consistent, the more that we share our journey, people will respond because they hear it. Bob Heilig was saying that, what was the percentage? He say 80%. There's a high percentage of people are watching what you're doing and they're not commenting, they're not liking. It's in the Facebook, because Facebook measures that stuff. So you guys it's great. Keep it up. I really love the fact that you're out there inspiring and sharing with the team as well.
Well, something you said that was really spot on too, guys, was when you talked about like not having too much of an expectation when someone's like not really engaged, because I know sometimes there's a temptation, like you think every coach you sign is going to stay with you forever, and every challenger you have is going to be like a rock star, and you know what I mean? And then you get frustrated because you have like 10 challengers and 8 of them aren't saying anything and you're like, what am I doing wrong? But you nailed it on the head. Like, they just need to know if you keep loving on them I'm sorry, yeah, he's hiccuping. If you keep loving on them and messaging them, like I have a couple challengers that keep falling off, but if I tell them that if you had one good day, that's better than a week you had no good days. Like they need that. That's where they're at. So I like how you pointed that out tonight. That was really, really good. And like you were saying too, yeah, this was just good. I think, especially because we can easily get caught up in wanting measurable results, and these are not measurable right now when you don't know who's watching and you don't know how they're feeling because you're not saying anything, but you're still being you and being authentic and showing up. And so
can I say something real quick about the comment you made about having the cheeseburger and the ice cream and about not kind of being perfect or whatever? I think that's one thing that I'm learning. I know I feel like I'm still such a newbie that I don't have any place to really say anything. But I think that's one thing that, over the course of the last couple of months that I've kind of watched and been involved and whatnot, that I think is one of the biggest things that I'm learning is that, like, the progress, not perfection, saying or whatever, that, like I'm stumbling over my words, but basically with regards to the cheeseburger and ice cream and all that, like, they say all the time, like being a coach isn't about being perfect and all that. And what kind of rings in my head is like, for me, I don't want eating healthy or working out or anything like that to ever feel like a chore. I don't want it to feel like a punishment or like I'm having to, what's the word, denying myself all these things. Like I want to feel like I'm doing it because I want to do it, because that's, because I'm taking ownership of who I am and what God's given me. And I want to be excited about doing that. And I think from the standpoint of like being a coach, like, we can eat the ice cream and the hamburger and all that and not feel guilty because it's not about being perfect. And the challenge groups, to me, I've gotten caught in this whole like, oh, well, now I signed up to be a coach, so I better make sure that I don't eat the cheeseburger or whatever. And I love that accountability portion of it. But on the flip side, like, I think, at least from what I've gathered so far, that at least for my own, where I'm coming from, like I said, I don't think that like living healthy ought to ever look like a chore. And so in that vein, I think as coaches, like, we're here and, within the challenge groups, like, more to encourage and motivate each other from the heart, which I know is something, that Michelle and Kelly, like, preach time and time again. But like, it's so much not about just like showcasing the perfection of, what we're eating and what we're doing, but just like, we're on this journey, and like, it's a beautiful, wonderful, awesome journey that we get to live out. And as a coach, it's like, we get to invite people in to do it, not because like, not solely, I guess I should say, because like, well, if you want the results, you need to eat the salad. Like, that's kind of like, I think that's a mentality that like, I'm like, I don't want to have that mentality. Like, I want to eat salad because that's how you're going to feel good. That's how you're going to feel your body. That's how you're going to, kind of do yourself justice in a way that's like exciting and, encouraging and whatnot. And I guess all that is to say that, like, I think more than anything from what I've watched and kind of, I don't know, from my limited participation over the course of the last couple of weeks, I think it does so much more to be there and be encouraging and kind of link arms with each other. I mean, I feel like that's so much of what, I watched something the other day, and I wish I could remember who it was or what it was, but where I feel like it was a coach on Team Courage that was given some presentation. But anyways, and he was talking about how, like, everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows that, not necessarily like the exact, recipe of what to do, but basically like, eat healthy, move, and you'll get the results. Like, but it's not easy to do, because when you do it by yourself, it becomes a chore. And it starts to feel like I have to do this if I want to see the results. When you do it together, it becomes so much more fun. And I think, at least for me, like, that's what we're there for. So, like, I don't know. I guess I just say that to kind of encourage all of us to kind of get out of the headspace of like, well, if I didn't eat the salad, or I didn't eat or I happen to have the ice cream, then not only am I not good enough, but, I can't share that, or I can't feel like the perfect coach, because I just think so much of it is about like linking arms and living life together, if that makes sense.
That's awesome. Thank you. Now we need to all go get ice cream and take a picture, and then we'll do a collage of us eating. Like, I'll do nachos. After
I already ate all the things last weekend.
After clean and lean week, we should all take a picture of like our favorite treat and do a collage. That'd be a fun post.
Or maybe we should do a picture of 80% green beans, 20% ice cream, and say I believe in the 80-20 rule.
Oh, good grief. I wouldn't even know how to figure out how many green beans that is, but I could figure out the ice cream. No, I think that's really good. Does anyone else want to share any thoughts? Like, the purpose of the mastermind call is to kind of, what's working and what's not. And I think it's important tonight. The mindset piece that you guys have shared is huge. Like, we can easily say, well, I've invited this many people and blah, blah, but this is the mindset is integral to it. So.
It is, and I've been listening to some of the Bob Heilig training and just digging back into personal development. And I was going to say that really is key. Is everyone in here reading personal development right now? Type in the chat what you're reading. I'm reading Presence. It's really good. It's really good. I can't think of the Rising Strong is amazing. Miracle Morning. I have to read that. She Works His Way in First 5. That's awesome. Is everyone doing the pep talk app? Awesome. How many of you guys are, I'm going to challenge you a little bit here. How many guys are getting up in the morning and praying before you start your day? Is everyone here praying kind? That's huge.
I put my stuff on my nightstand by my bed, so in the morning I've been reading it before I even go downstairs, which has helped, because I used to have it downstairs and have to have my cup of coffee, but now I've been reading it before I've been drinking.
Right after you have a baby too, it's really hard to get up super early. But for those of us who are not just had a baby, I do want to challenge you to looking into. I haven't read this book yet. I am going to read it. I just got it, but I will say that in the past 5 years, the times I have been the most on track is when I got up at 5 a.m. So Trent and I just started today again, but we're started getting up, working out first thing, and then sitting down to pray. And it's a really dynamite way to start the day. But anyway, back to that mindset and mentality.
Yeah, I know. That's huge.
Yeah. And making that commitment with ourselves, setting the appointment. When am I going to read my personal development? When you're in the car driving to take the kids to school or dropping them off? I know a lot of times I like to listen to praise and worship. And sometimes I allow myself that. And other times I turn it off and I put on my PD. Yeah. But it's being intentional.
Do y'all have any, does anyone have any like things they want to ask too? Like, that's kind of another thing for tonight. If you had questions of things you're stuck on, or you got like great people here.
I have a question after. I want to share something that I thought of this week that kind of propelled me forward when I'm trying to make new contacts, and also after I've like when I'm trying to post something or be bold in my conversations. When I was in high school, I did diving team, and I don't know if anybody has ever done diving team, but it can be really scary. And so me and my teammates came up with this little saying to make us throw the dive, because that was the hardest part. And we'd just be like, you just gotta psh, psh, done, like just get it done, just psh, psh, done. And so I will, like, when I'm doing or planning out my power hour, I like make my list of people that I'm going to reach out to. And because I've caught myself too many times being like, I don't run out of people. I'm like, no, I haven't run out of people. And then if I think, oh, X, Y, and Z are reasons why I shouldn't reach out to them, I'm like, forget it. Psh, psh, done. Just start a conversation, say, hey, whatever, to them. And that's like been huge help for me, just to like, kind of like those mentalities of like 3, 2, 1, be courageous kind of things. So that's something that's been working for me. And then my question isn't, I don't really know if this is a question, but it's something I'm stuck on, is like asking people what their struggles are and what their goals are, because I always feel awkward when I ask that. And I think it goes back to just like in friendships and stuff, I get nervous to ask people to be vulnerable with me. And that question makes me feel like I am asking them to share something with me that's really personal. And it's just hard for me to like get over that fear, I guess, and to not feel awkward about it. So I don't know if you have anything to speak into that.
I completely relate, because for the longest time, I would have some friends sign up, and then I was afraid to hold them accountable. I was afraid to challenge them because I was afraid that I would hurt my friendship. So I completely understand where you're coming from, and want to encourage you to remember that if they're asking you, they want help and they want guidance from someone who's gone there before. And a leader knows the way, goes the way, shows the way, and you can't show the way without asking their goals. So the way you can do that is, first of all, look at the Tommy Migrant training in the back office. We should have an invite training section, but not in the back office, in the Google Drive. But I found that his way of asking questions made it just seem easier and it was simple. But the other thing is too, is to say, hey, you know what? When they ask you a question, like, what is your group like? Well, you know what? Or what do you do or whatever? I'd love to help you. I'd love to know what your goals are so I can help give you better advice based on what I know and what I've experienced. You know what I mean? So you can say something like that, so it doesn't seem like, so what are your goals? I'm the doctor, you're the patient. And, but just make it more on a level like, hey, let's figure this out together. Hey, I'd love to help you figure this out. Why don't you tell me what your goals are? And, we'll take it one step at a time. Sound good? And that's kind of what Tommy Migrant does, is he asks simple question, sound good at the end. And I don't know what it is about that sound good and the way he put it, but it made it a little easier. It's still going to be a little awkward, but, that's why Kelly and I and other coaches are here. You can always run stuff by us before you send it out, if it makes you feel better. But I understand exactly what you feel. I have felt the same way. And I'm going to encourage you not to make the same mistake I did and not challenge your friends. But just remember, everything with love. You love them, you truly want to help them, and you cannot do that without challenging them and knowing what they want.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of us probably identify with. I know I do too. I mean, especially when I see someone fall off, wanting to hold them accountable, sometimes it's hard. But even if you lead with that, like, this is kind of hard, you know what I mean? If you lead with the awkward and say, like, I hope you don't mind me asking, but like, can you tell me a little more about what you're struggling with so I can really make sure I'm helping you? I think that takes the awkward out a little.
Yeah, I really like that. That, I think,
like,
that sounds like me too. Like,
yeah,
I want to be like,
you have to find your way, because the questions are really helpful too, because for some reason, every time I have to ask someone their goals, it does feel weird if you don't have like a good, like, I'm glad Michelle just brought up the sound good thing, because I feel like that's like little token phrases, like, or if you don't mind me asking, or can you tell me a little more, or I really want to help, so can you help? Like, it's like little phrases like that you make your phrase, like whatever feels like it rolls off your tongue because it sounds like you, or it is you, helps. You know, and even like now of challengers, when you know those goals, then you can say later, like, do you remember when you shared this with me? Like, is that still something you want to focus on? Like just those little, but I think you're feeling uncomfortable sometimes, like if you say it, helps them realize like it's coming from a tender place and you're not trying to just you know, interview them, although it feels that way sometimes. You know? For sure. But yeah. Anybody
Does
else?
anyone else have anything? I guess one last thing I'd really like to just say again is if you guys are writing out invitations or writing out a post and you don't, excuse me, bugs, and you don't know what to say, you're not sure of how you're saying it, and you're just not 100%, you can send it. Like I was helping Megan with something, and Kelly looked it over too. You know, there's times when Kelly's done things that I'll look over, or I'll send stuff that I've done to Kelly, say, hey, can I get another set of eyes on this? Because when we're in the first person, sometimes it's hard to step back and really see. So it's never a bother. We're a team. We're in this together. We all want to help each other succeed and do our best. So don't hesitate to reach out, you know, and share when you do have something that comes back positive. Share it in the team page, because maybe you've had a conversation, you found a way to connect with someone that someone else on the team can as well. So, you know, that in itself is sharing the love and helping back. So
yeah. Michelle and Kelly helped me with my like invite to coach post, and I thought I'd have maybe one person in the courage sneak peek today, and I have 7.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got posted.
That's awesome.
Wow,
I got like
cool.
4 people last night, and I posted it at like 9:30, and then I got like 3 people from personal invites. So
I need to do whatever you did.
I talked to Michelle
back and forth quite a few times, but it was good.
Why don't you share your post in the team page so everyone can see it?
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
I think, guys, it's good for you at least once a week to share a post similar to Megan's that has either to do with coaching, challenge groups, or just your journey. It doesn't have to have a call to action, but like once a week to do something like that. Not every day, but like once. I feel like it's good because then you get more comfortable with it. I love, because it was really good. I mean, it was really good. I didn't have to change it. I mean, she sent it. I'm like, I wouldn't change anything. Just put a picture with it. I guess, like, you know.
Well, you know, and something to think about too. And this is what I told Megan. I know we've helped several younger coaches. I can't remember all the names, but with something similar, wanting to know what to post. And maybe it was Trisha. Maybe you sent me something. I'm trying to remember. But something to remember is you're telling a story. You need to remember that. Go back to how did I feel before I joined my first challenge, I felt, and write that list out. Since my first challenge, I felt, write that list out. And that's what you work from to write your invitation to a challenge group. Before I began coaching, I felt. Since coaching, I felt. And that mixed with some of the challenge group stuff is going to be your invitation to coaching. But you want to draw the Me Too's out there because you want to attract people who are like you. Trust me, you don't want people on your team who are not like you. I used to think I wanted everybody. And I'm telling you, there have been times when I've had people who've wanted to coach and I've kind of steered clear of them because I don't want them on my team. You know, I know that sounds kind of whatever, but we have an amazing team. I protect, when I invite people in, I protect what we've got because it's fantastic. And so don't worry about turning people off. You know, the more you repel the people who are not like you, the more you will attract the people you are. And you can talk to Angie Bradley and ask her how much people have started to respond to her since she has become more vulnerable on her regular page. People are starting to see the Angie we see.
And I think like Michelle's saying, like it's a story. And like, think about how, you know, people have transformation Tuesdays where they share like before and afters. Think of once a week, make it it doesn't have to be Tuesday. Like I do mine on Thursdays because I'm one of those routine people who has to have like, this is the day I do it. And I mean, not every Thursday, but I post my longer posts because it's a day I get better traffic on Thursday, whether it's how coaching helped me pay my car payment, or how I just had a rough day and I was glad I was taught to read personal development. Like it's just, but those are the days I'll have like once a week where I'll put a longer post, and then the rest of the week it's shorter breadcrumbs. And so maybe think about that, like doing it once a week, because that people will relate. Like I love how Megan's I mean, all each of you at different times have shared them, and I think that might be something when we share in the group, we should hashtag. I don't know what to hashtag it, but just for examples. Because people, the difference of what our business does versus other businesses is we share our heart, and it's an inside transformation that happens as much as the outside. And so they need to see that in you, and don't be ashamed of it or think that like they're not gonna, it's okay to feel uncomfortable. Like I've done that before. I posted something and then I've posted in the team page, like, I feel really weird that I just shared this. Can y'all go like check it out? And we can all love on it. Like that's fine too. But
I think it's important as a team that we definitely support each other. Like I'm happy to go onto when I see your stuff, if I see your stuff, almost guaranteed I'm going to like and comment on it. If I see it go through, if I have the time to stop and do that. But if you need us to, then reach out. But something Kelly said, I just want to reiterate, something Kelly said that I just want to reiterate is that she said that this journey is about healing on the inside as well as the out. And so one of the reasons why so many Beachbody coaches jump off and quit is because they don't get results right away with their business. But I want to tell you right now, I have seen in this business in the last 5 years, I have seen people who started after me that are making well over 6 figures. I have people that I worked with directly that I saw rise in the ranks above me fast. But I'm going to tell you, if I had quit because I did not get the results I wanted as quickly as I wanted, I wouldn't be who I am today. And God has he has taken layer after layer after layer. When I joined Beachbody, it was all about, ha, ha, ha. I was really rebellious at the time. I'm going to do this really super cool, sexy body thing now. And I'm being rebellious and all this. Yay. That was in my head. And God's like, ha, ha, ha. Little do you know what's ahead for you. But it really is like, I just want to encourage you when you get discouraged like that. I mean, Kroger's on here and I know she can say the same thing. Yeah, God takes, don't give up when you don't get immediate results. Just remember during those dry times, focus on you. Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing and focus on you, because it's more than just a business. It's more, it is that family and that connection and that healing from the inside out. And I can say that because I know that every single one of you on here, feel the same way about healing and about growth. So never give up. Hang in there. Let them peel the layers. We're here to hold you when it happens. So,
well, thank you.
Anybody have anything else, or?
Thanks, Emily and Elizabeth, for hopping on tonight and sharing. That was great, and for everybody's input it was good stuff. So I'll get the recording up and just appreciate what y'all shared tonight. I took good notes for myself. Just was helpful just to hear. It helps to hear what others are thinking and how you're feeling and where you're growing and stuff. So thanks for taking the time. I'll get this up as soon as
stepping up. Yeah.
Uploads. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Night, guys.